Hello students, welcome back, and today we are going to continue our lesson on polymer 9.3. So in this chapter we already learned a few things. Yeah, I don't have my pen. It's very difficult for me to write. So we already learned about rubber. Of course we know rubber is just a rubber, and rubber is divided into two, which is considered the natural rubber and synthetic rubber. Where is my rubber? Why this is glass? Where's this? We also know predictable, right? Okay. Where's my rubber? Yeah, here. Okay, so rubber is divided into two, where there is natural rubber and synthetic rubber. Let me put my pen. So of course natural rubber is very natural. You just take from tree, and if you know the periodic table, there's just a certain compound in it like starch, protein, or natural rubber. So natural rubber is not strong. In order to make it stronger, we need to use synthetic rubber. So you need to add something. So after add something, you will get either polyethylene, polystyrene, perspex, and synthetic rubber. Okay, so here is will be the natural rubber. Sorry, here is the natural rubber. Here will be the synthetic rubber. So natural rubber is not that strong, and synthetic rubber which is stronger. Okay, to make glove, tire, and shoe. To make rubber product, I don't know lah. If you just got natural rubber, what you can do with it? I really think very difficult. That's why here it say to make rubber based product, because the natural rubber is like a food, so it will get very smelly after, like a food based natural. So if the bacteria will grow, it is very smelly, so eventually you cannot do anything, because it is very soft, like got water, and it is very smelly due to the bacteria. Then after a few days will maybe become black color. So what you want to do with that? You cannot do anything. Unless you want to make it to a synthetic rubber, you can make glove, tire, and shoe. Okay, so natural rubber we already learned, natural rubber, and then the natural rubber, you want to either put acid or alkali. So what is the effect if you want to pause this video? This is the natural rubber. If I am to put either, can I just add my handwriting very fast? If I want to put either acid versus alkali, what will happen? I give you 1 minute, so you let me know. Okay, so if we put acid, this one you need to know. If you put acid, it will coagulate. Okay, coagulation by acid. So I take my pen, coagulation, and this one is not coagulate. Is there any word for not coagulate? Wait I see any word for not coagulation or not. When it will neutralize the ion in the membrane rubber, the rubber will remain. So I would not say it's uncoagulate, but is there any word for not coagulating? Okay lah, never mind lah, don't have the word. So I just write coagulate and not coagulate. Okay, so acid will coagulate. I write coagulation though is I want to use the word coagulate, yeah, coagulate. So this one I write not coagulation. So what do you mean by coagulation? Coagulation means it will become like a solid lump. Okay, just again some revision a bit. Okay, coagulation will become a solid lump, so that it will become like a solid lah. It's liquid mah. This is like a water, correct or not? This is a water, and you don't want to bring this water to put on the lorry. You want to put some acid so that it will coagulate, become like a jelly, so that you can put in the lorry. Then the rubber won't come out lah. You don't need to put in the tong. But eventually you don't need to do anything lah. You just put it, the bacteria will grow. Why it coagulate? Because there is acid. Why is it got acid? Because there are bacteria. Bacteria will eat ma. But I don't know what the bacteria doing. So the bacteria will eat. Just let me erase this. Just do some revision. Last week we already do this, but I just get exam will ask, so that I hope you know how to do in case they ask anything. The question may ask what happened to the rubber if you put acid. So we say that the rubber will become coagulate. It will become like a solid lump. Let's say the next question asks you, why is it the rubber become solid? Because the action of bacteria. The bacteria will grow and it will produce acid. So the acid will neutralize the protein membrane molecule and it will cause it to coagulate. So just like because of bacteria will produce acid, acid will. So let's say the question asks how acid can coagulate. Explain. So you need to explain. Acid, when you add to the latex, the positive hydrogen ion from the acid will neutralize the negative charges. So the molecule will collide. This will break the membrane, protein membrane. So this one I think they seldom ask lah. If they ask this question, then it will be usually A, B, C is the easy question ma. Then D, E will be the difficult question. So if they ask I think the question that is difficult is explain how the effect of acid will coagulate the rubber. That is a difficult question. So we try to answer, okay? So we can say that the acid has a possibly charged hydrogen ion, which will, because acid, it will neutralize the negative charge of the protein membrane. Eventually, this protein membrane will break. Okay, this thing, it will break, and then it will form a polymer, like a chain of rubber, so that it will coagulate, so it becomes a solid lump. However, if you put alkaline, it will hydroxide ion. Okay, it will cause hydroxide ion to neutralize the hydrogen ion. So eventually, what do you mean by acid and alkaline? Just in case if you want to know, acid. Wait, let me take my pen. I don't know want to use this or this. Use this lah. I use this. Wait, I'm looking for a place to write. Put here lah. Okay. So acid usually based on more hydrogen ion, and alkaline is obviously more hydroxide ion. Okay, but here it didn't use hydroxide ion. He just put negative charge ion. Did they put hydroxide ion? Where got? They got put. So what do you mean by something is acid? Anything. I don't care whether it's a lime or you're talking about lime, you're talking about orange, you're talking about soap, which is alkaline. No matter what, the definition acid means it got more hydrogen ion. This one is not coming out in exam, if I still remember. It display its properties in water. This one also same. Okay, it display its properties in water. Acid is only acid because first it is hydrogen ion more. Second, it only can show a property if there is water. That's why when we see acid, it is usually liquid. Like you see in the movie, put the acid, psst, then the alien die. It must be in like a liquid form. If you make it dry, then it will no longer be an acid. Let's take a lime. Lime, if you put on the pH paper, it will turn color because there's some liquid. But if the lime is dry, no matter what I do, it cannot it cannot do anything. Alkali also the same without water. So anything anyway, to make the thing simple, you need to know that acid means more hydrogen ion, alkaline is more. So more acid in this picture, it will neutralize it will make them break the membrane. And if you put hydroxide ion, it will neutralize the hydrogen ion. So eventually it will cause the membrane to become round again because of this negative ion. So it will stick onto it and become it round. Hydrogen ion will just pull it apart. So I think it's easy to remember if you first you remember this table, second you remember the picture. So you imagine in your brain, can you imagine in your brain there's a membrane and then there's positive, positive, positive ion. Pull the membrane out, pull this thing out. You need to imagine lah. You need to imagine, pull this thing out, and you need to imagine the positive, pull negative out, and then it will form a polymer. For polymer, let's try to draw a polymer. Polymer. Because polymer is like a long chain, so I just imagine your brain long chain. Then you remember, okay, polymer. Then suddenly you put alkali, which is the negative more. So all the negative come and stick on it, and negative charge, then it will make the membrane, protein membrane close again, become round thing. Okay, if you can imagine in your brain. Then easy to explain, correct or not? Let's say exam ask. It's always important if you study, you use your imagination to remember something or drawing. If you want to memorize the word, it is more difficult. It's easier to watch a cartoon than you remember the movie. Then it's very easy. But when the teacher teach, we don't really remember because we too much use on the left brain. So we need to use right brain. Right brain is the creativity, like art. You remember how you draw things, you remember music, you remember how to sing song, because this one is towards the right. So always try to, when you memorize something, you can make it to music, or you can make it like a drawing. If you are good in art, you should imagine it, and it will help you to remember and understand the concept easily. Okay, where was I? Yeah, okay, so yeah. This one I teach already. Actually, I want to teach this one. Okay, this one I haven't teach. Okay. Carry out activity, properties of natural rubber. So this one is, let's look at the aim. To study the properties of natural rubber. So what is the properties that you want to test? He want to test the elasticity. So of course you take and pull lah, you take and pull the rubber. Take and stretch it and pull it and twist it. What happened to the piece of rubber after heating? I think this one it will stick back lah. The rubber, I think it will, after you heat it up, will stick back. Yeah, I think it will stick back. Yes, you put water. I haven't do it. I don't know whether your school will do the experiment or not. Yeah, so you need to, of course, do it lah. Will it arrange to the original shape? I think it's good. Okay, then after that, acid and alkali on latex. Of course, if you put acid, coagulate. If you put alkali, not coagulate. Coagulate means like a solid lump. So of course, you want to do the experiment, he put acid. Of course lah, if you put acid, it will become like solid. If you put ammonia, which is alkali, it will become liquid. Okay, so up to you lah. You want to put solid first, or alkaline first, or alkaline first, or you want to put solid first. Usually the experiment, you need to write in your observation in a table format, either in table, in graph, line chart, histogram. Usually it's like this lah, not in an essay form for science. So bigger P, what is bigger P? Acid. So acid, what is the answer? So for bigger P, but not change to hydrogen, and that is the explanation. The question say observation. So observation means the thing that you can see. What you can see is the rubber will coagulate, or you can really the rubber will become solid lump, because they put P is they put acid. Because you see P they put acid. Let's say the question asked so you need to do, because you know in the subjective question usually they give you a picture, they ask you to do. How about Q? What will happen to Q?
Coagulate.
The rubber will be coagulate, or the rubber not coagulate.
Coagulate.
The rubber will become what? The rubber will become like liquid. Okay, liquid or not coagulate. Okay, we already learned this. Acid coagulate, alkaline, it will not coagulate, it become liquid when you do the experiment. Yeah, because observation means is something that you can see. How about this one? How about R? R is they just leave it there. So what will happen to R? Not change. Yes, not change is a good answer. But if you not change, if you leave it like too fast. Let's read this is a what they say is a K-BAT question. Let's see. Add 10 drop P, stir it. Leave without acid. So probably no change. I thought I want to say become solid. So anyway, I think the answer will be no change. But why I cannot adjust this thing become go up back? After I write up means I cannot adjust, is it? I cannot adjust this thing. Anyway, let's try to use this. Maybe I can adjust this. Okay, so I write that no change. Probably will be the constant variable. Of course, if the question say like left it for a few days, then it will become solid, because the bacteria will grow. The bacteria will produce acid, and then it will cause coagulation. Therefore, for R, probably there will be no change, because here it didn't write how long they want to put. Probably just maybe 5 seconds. So no change lah. Very good. So it will be a constant variable. Let's say in this experiment, if I ask, wait, I just finding some place for me to write. What is the manipulated variable? What is the responding variable? And what is the constant variable? Let's say I ask you this question. Can you answer this question? But never mind lah, this one I seldom teach, so I just maybe I ask you to try. You want to try? So you can pause the video and try. Okay, so you say that the action. So congratulations to those that got the answer. Of course, since this is an experiment, there might be a few answers. So you can maybe write in the comment or what, because there will be a few answers. But this is my answer, and some of my student answer. So manipulated variable will be the thing that you want to change will be the presence of acid alkaline. Just now I got one student say that it is for the type of solution. Of course, type of solution also can because the type of solution of acid alkaline, but it depends on the hypothesis. But this experiment it didn't give the hypothesis. But usually the hypothesis will be the effect of what are the effect of acid or the aim. Yeah, the aim already right, sorry. The aim already put acid and alkaline. Means this whole experiment is to study acid and alkaline. That is the first point you want to do in your experiment. So what you want to do? You want to do latex, you want to do rubber, you want to do electric, you want to do what you want to do. So the question already say, not the question, the experiment say he want to study the effect of acid and alkaline on latex. So the NV, the thing that we want to change will be the acid or alkaline effect on the latex. So the responding variable, as you can say, the action that my student give, the action for on the latex, but I will say my answer is the physical condition of the latex, whether it will become solid or it will become liquid. So that will be the responding variable. Constant variable is the thing that you cannot change. All experiment, I cannot think of experiment that don't have constant variable. All experiment got constant variable. Because we want to eliminate the limiting factor. We don't want other people to disturb the experiment. So what are the other things that might disturb the result? Because we want to just study acid and alkaline on latex. So what are some of the things that might disturb? Volume of acid, it might disturb. So it need to be the same. Acid and alkaline must be the same. I cannot use like 1 ton of acid and then another one I use little bit alkaline. It's fair experiment? Not fair. Or the condition or the latex, I must use the same volume of latex. You want to use this small, then you use this small. You cannot use A this small, B so big. Then it will destroy your aim to study the experiment. Correct or not? You cannot do the experiment already because you also, the people will ask, what are you doing? You put A so small, B so big. Of course, the B so big is still the liquid lah. Correct or not? So we need to eliminate the other variable that try to disturb the experiment, or maybe usually constant variable there are a lot, or maybe I can say even the type of latex. It must be from the same type. You don't want gold latex from Malaysia, another one from Brazil, the Brazil more good quality one, or another from, I don't know, from some good country, and then I use one not good tree rubber compared with a very good tree rubber. Then test what? That is not to test the acid and alkaline. That is, you want to test the tree. You want to test that 3A rubber is better than 3B rubber. So that is another experiment you can see or not. Or you want to test the volume. How the volume affect the physical condition, or that is another experiment. So one you take a very big volume of latex, one you put very small. So many things that you can test in an experiment. But for this experiment, we just want to know acid and alkaline effect on latex. So of course, the limiting factor, the other variable, we want to eliminate it. But for your exam, you usually put one enough, 1 or 2. But usually sometimes there will be 5, 6, 7, 8 as well. So yeah, so that's the experiment. What happened when the ethanol is added to the alkali? This one you can pause the video and you can try to do as I'm going to explain the answer. Okay, I explain the answer. What happened with ethanol acid? Okay, so of course if you add ethanoic acid, it will become, the rubber will coagulate and become solid lump. What happen if you add ammonia? Okay, the rubber will become liquid. How can coagulation of latex be prevented? How you don't want it to become latex? Just put more ammonia lah, okay? Is it put more ammonia? Ensure there are sufficient alkaline in the latex. I think it's like that lah, huh? Coagulant means it becomes solid mah, so just make sure there is sufficient alkaline or sufficient alkaline or ammonia. If I'm wrong, you let me know, okay? Let me know in the comment. Why do latex coagulate when exposed to air? Okay, because this I already said many times, because the bacteria will grow on the latex. The bacteria will produce acid. Okay, then that will be the answer. Let's say the last question, more difficult question, I put number 5. Why acid will cause coagulation in latex? So this is more difficult question, okay? So the acid will cause coagulation because it has more, let's see, remember, hydrogen ions. The hydrogen ion will neutralize the negative ion. This causes the protein, how do I spell protein? Protein membrane to disappear, is it? Protein membrane to, what does it say? Protein membrane to break, better word, okay? Not to disappear, to break. Then the rubber will make a chain like a polymer. Okay, that's how you want to write it. Is it make a rubber chain? Neutralize positive chain. Yeah, I will make a chain of the rubber polymer. This is here didn't write lah, a rubber polymer, so you can make it rubber polymer. Let's put it. This is more difficult question if they ask in exam, so it will be maybe 3 marks if they want, depending on your teacher whether they are happy with you or the teacher want to test you. The teacher give you a more difficult question. Okay, any question you want to ask?
No.
No, so again, I already mentioned many times again. This is the basic thing lah, the coagulation, not coagulation. You must know what is mean by coagulate lah. Coagulate means if not, if you cannot do this or you don't understand, please ask, and we will try to help you as much possible. So we will take a short break. I see you back at 9 o'clock. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, see you. Bye.